One Zambia, One Nation. Welcome to Zanis News. I'm Alice Banda, your caster. Let's take a look at the stories making headline. President Hichilema confers with EU Parliamentary Committee. Constituencies in Northern Province successfully implement CDF. Clearing agents advised to acquaint themselves with new electronic clearing system. Plus, Chipata Mayor launches Christmas football tournament for girls. And now the news in detail. President Hakainde Hichilema says the European Union, EU, has been a key partner to Zambia's development through provision of financial and technical support. President Hichilema notes that the EU has supported Zambia in various areas, including health, trade, environmental, sustainability, education, and poverty reduction. The head of state adds that the EU has also been instrumental in Zambia's economic reconstruction agenda through support for the debt restructuring process under the G20 Officials Creditors Committee. President Hichilema said this at State House when the EU Parliamentary Committee on Foreign Affairs paid a courtesy call on him. He reiterated that the EU's economic and technical support has had a positive impact on the lives of many Zambians. And President Hichilema has called for more cooperation between Zambia and the EU in promoting global peace and stability. And in Northwestern Province, the Development Aid from People to People (DAP) has received a grant of $200,000 from the United States Agency for International Development (USAID) under the Alternative to Charcoal project to support 1,500 vulnerable households in 2 districts of the province. The project, which will be implemented in Solwezi and Kalumbila districts over a year and 6 months period, aims at reducing urban charcoal consumption and increase the use of alternative technologies to reduce deforestation. We have the details in this report.
The demand for charcoal has increased the cutting down of trees for charcoal production, which continues to drive deforestation. In order to reverse this trend, DAP, through the Alternative to Charcoal project, will be implementing a project aimed at reducing pressure on the forest by providing alternative income activities in Solwezi and Kalumbila districts.
It will actually reach out to 1,500 households in the 2 districts. And these beneficiaries will actually be part of the implementing this livelihood, which is non-forestry, which is we're talking of honey, where these communities will be trained on how to keep bees, and also in the process they'll do the whole process of honey. Then the second one is the horticulture one, where they will grow various vegetables to push in various markets in Solwezi, in Kalumbila, and possibly they can even take advantage of what we have in Congo. The other one is a high-tech one. They will grow the butternuts and the sweet corn.
Government and the would-be beneficiaries of the project are hopeful that the initiative will help preserve the trees.
But this project has come at the right time in Solwezi district and in Kalumbila, so that what we have, the little that is remaining here, can save the rest of Zambia. But what we need to do is to ensure that we have a mindset change. If we have a problem, we need to find a solution. And the solution has come. We need to find livelihood, which are alternative to charcoal burning.
This project has come at the right time when we are all trying to find solutions to the impacts of climate change. Mwape Mwesa for Zanis News in Solwezi District.
In Lusaka Province, Provincial Permanent Secretary Robert Kamalata has flagged off the 2023 disaster preparedness materials in Luangwa District. Mr. Kamalata has also cautioned civil servants in the district to desist from engaging in partisan politics. More in this report.
Lusaka Province Permanent Secretary Robert Kamalata has flagged off the provincial disaster preparedness in Luangwa District. He said the move is to prevent the spread of cholera in the district and the province at large.
And the reason we have come here is specifically to kick off the cholera outbreak response. Right now, in Lusaka, the numbers are increasing. But you may wish to know that it started from here. So through our regional office, we thought it's better to come here as quickly as possible. So what I have brought today include, we have the chlorine. Yes, so we have got about 80 parts of chlorine. So it may be bloody, so therefore we have brought sprayers so that it can be used. Among other things, we have also brought disinfecting chemicals.
Earlier, the Provincial Permanent Secretary held an interaction meeting with government heads of departments in the district. He urged them to adhere to the Civil Service Code of Ethics and support the government of the day.
Now this government has not fired any of you, and don't take it for granted. And when you are given an olive branch like that, you should take it very serious. I mean, you should take and repent and continue working with the government of the day.
Luangwa district heads of departments gave account of their department's performances during the year under review.
Just to report that the 2023 recruitment of the 4,500 teachers was successfully completed, and the necessary data has been submitted to the Teaching Service Commission for validation.
From these 439, we have 39 staff who are on the Luangwa payroll but are working outside the district or have gone on study leave.
Lista Ndumba reporting, Luangwa District.
Thank you, Lista, for that report. We move to Eastern Province, where government is about to resolve a 20-year land dispute between the Reformed Church in Zambia and over 3,000 settlers settled on the land belonging to the church in Chipata district. Following government's intervention through Lands and Natural Resources Minister Elijah Mchima, the church has agreed to allow the squatters to remain on the land. More in the following report.
For over 20 years now, the Reformed Church in Zambia in Chipata district has been fighting with people who are said to have illegally settled on its land. The church has, even in its possession, an eviction order from the High Court to evict over 3,000 families from its 1,000 hectares piece of land. However, government's continued efforts to bring about peace between the two parties has resulted in the church to finally agree to allow the squatters on its land and will be given an acre each, though the church says it will come at a fee.
We feel for them. Hence the church said, no, just those that are willing, we can give them this much. Of course, at a cost, because of course, there's a lot that has to be done. But help us that whatever resettlement is done must be properly done, not as it is. That's our request. So engaging them as it cannot be.
Lands and Natural Resources Minister Elijah Mchima, who has been mediating over this issue, says President Hakainde Hichilema's administration wants to see coexistence among people.
Here we should have been starting with a prayer, because all of us want to live peacefully with God. And you are supposed to be saving people who are suffering. So here, let's find an amicable. Tell whoever is above you that your minister today is happy. It is more cool than before. Let's find a way to comfort how we can live with our people. You are in the church because of the people. You are not a church because of yourselves. That way, I'll be very happy if we can find an amicable way.
The meeting held between the church leadership and government took place in Chipata district and attended by Eastern Province Permanent Secretary Paul Tole and several Ministry of Lands officials both from Lusaka and within. The land in question is situated in Mazimoyo area, 20 kilometers from Chipata district along the Great Eastern Road. Kalan Muchima reporting for Zanis in Chipata district.
Deputy Secretary to Cabinet Oliver Kalabo has advised institutions to set standards for ethical conduct, transparency and accountability to mitigate risks of fraud, corruption, and other malpractices. Dr. Kalabo was speaking during the launch of 5 documents by the Ministry of Technology and Science aimed at upholding the highest standards of ethics, accountability, and transparency in workplaces. Details in this report.
The Ministry of Technology and Science has launched 5 documents, among them the Conflict of Interest, Gifts and Benefits Strategy, the Entrepreneurship Development Strategy, and Whistleblowers Protection Policy to address significant issues in the country. Officiating at the event, Technology and Science Permanent Secretary Bryant Habenzu highlighted the importance of these documents.
The conflict of interest, gift and the benefits, as well as the whistleblower protection institutional policies we are launching today are designed to ensure that staff, together with the board members that preside over our institutions in the ministry, act in the best interest of the ministry and the public by refraining from any situations or acts that may compromise their personal judgment or the credibility of the ministry.
And Deputy Secretary to Cabinet Oliver Kalabo said the fight against corruption is one of the government's priority areas of governance.
These policies, I hereby direct that the ministry and all statutory bodies undertake the following. 1. Maintain a gift register in the ministry. 2. Ensure gifts are declared. And 3. Establish uniformity in the gift culture within the institution. And by extension, this is also directed to all government ministries and institutions.
Dr. Kalabo also said the entrepreneurship strategy will help promote trade and craft skills to address the high unemployment rates.
Entrepreneurship development and the open and flexible learning strategies. Today, more than ever, Zambia is in the dire need of our strategic skills to spur industrial development. We are, therefore, in a hurry to create an enabling environment for our people to either be imparted with skills for employment or entrepreneurship. At a time when the country is aspiring to be a strong and dynamic middle-income industrial nation that provides opportunity for improved well-being of all citizens, there is need to step up efforts that lead to the country aspiration. In order to realize this dream, TVET becomes indispensable for its inclusive approach in equipping industrial individuals from all walks of life, be it those who never set foot in a classroom, school dropouts, or high school graduates.
Meanwhile, Anti-Corruption Commission Director General Tom Shamakamba said the commission will pass a law that will require government employees to declare their assets in order to combat corruption. Audrey Kalenga, Zanis News, Lusaka.
We move to Northern Province. The Provincial Permanent Secretary Bernard Mpondo says all 13 constituencies in the province have made significant progress in the implementation of the 3 components of the Constituency Development Fund CDF this year. Mr. Mpondo has, however, called on the local authorities to intensify monitoring of CDF community projects to ensure that contractors deliver quality work. Mr. Mpondo said this when he officially opened the 2023 fourth quarter Provincial Development Coordinating Committee PDCC meeting in Kasama. More in the following report.
It is a meeting that is held to discuss developmental issues in the province. The 2023 fourth quarter Provincial Development Coordinating Committee PDCC meeting for Northern Province attracted different government departments and its cooperating partners. Provincial Permanent Secretary Bernard Mpondo used the occasion to highlight the progress made in the implementation of Constituency Development Fund CDF projects in the province.
The status for the Northern Province is that all the 13 constituencies have made significant progress in all the 3 components of CDF, namely community projects, empowerment grants and loans, and secondary and skills development bursaries in the period under review.
Mr. Mpundu also used the occasion to urge local authorities to intensify monitoring of CDF projects.
Let's improve. We don't monitor regularly. We don't check what the contractor is doing. And what you get at the end of it all, you find your officer just signing to say it's completed. You go to check.
Earlier, Northern Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Lewis Mwape reiterated government's commitment to implementing decentralization.
Government is also committed to undertake the full decentralization and devolution of government functions, including fiscal and administrative. And in this way, this platform provides our people, provides heads of government department and other stakeholders to meet, convene, and discuss the development of our province.
Government departments and cooperating partners presented reports through their clusters as highlighted in the 8th National Development Plan. Geoffrey Piri reporting for Zanis in Kasama District.
Meanwhile, in Luapula Province, government has, through the 2023 Constituency Development Fund, CDF, disbursed over 2.8 million kwacha to individuals, companies, and cooperatives whose applications were successful in Milenge District. Gracing the handover ceremony, Luapula Province Permanent Secretary Maite Mumba emphasized the need for prudency in the use of funds as well as for would-be beneficiaries to come up with viable project proposals. Here is a report by David Ndovi.
Cautionary role-play lessons by Sangwapo Theatre Group of Milenge District to would-be loans or grant beneficiaries on the practice of sharing money from the Constituency Development Fund empowerment disbursements, contrary to its intended use. This was during a CDF handover event of checks worth over 2.8 million kwacha at Kafwanka to 18 recipients, constituting small enterprises and cooperatives.
Filimu ya mwini Joseph la ndireba council chairperson filimu ya mwini ishindi la meshile isa uteka wena uomba sana.
Luapula Province Permanent Secretary Maite Mumba graced the occasion.
Under the leadership of our Republican President Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, government is dedicated to fostering a conducive business environment. We encourage cooperatives to take advantage of these opportunities. Mwewe na Milenge ndevo kesha panote ushukunaisa po ushukuwale mpaka fwankayo. Na ila tuwale pira grants ngamle kushatu walivonse muli ule ushi. Ishinda amesha sa kunoshingi sana. Hapa ni 2.8 million ya la pira wa Milenge ushiku walelo. Nindala miko. Ya kwebati tuliotu vungwe utuli serious. Tuala unonshi wa bupantanji. Bala indisha kuna bambinchi to. No mbanga tuwapokendala minsto wa mpe akana. Tuwabila tukala tege nkoko, tuwashite nkoko, shakula, tuwalia. Ero tule vula kuna business yale ya kwebati. Nota tinkoko. Imbushisha twakora kuna kwa ati yale twala ko wangu pamulo pantu ilingiri ne ama business akuteke nkoko aya akuteke mbushi inena lishile wa munganda mafunde kale nafi mwana abantu bakanafi bali afi ngani nkoko shafula abo bakana ba mukole ngani mbushi shafula ba mukole so jonse tuleba aba ikanira pamupenta tuli apantage leken tsala businesses aya kwa jara twala ko
Milenge Member of Parliament as well as Milenge Council Chairperson respectively addressed the recipients and the gathering.
Business yenu. Therefore, government under the leadership of His Excellency Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, the President of the Republic of Zambia, trades in ensuring that Zambians access these loans without looking at one's political affiliation. This is proof that the new Dawn government administration believes in equity and fairness in the distribution of government resources.
David Ndovi for Zanis, Milenge District.
And in Western Province, Kalabo Town Council has allocated 1 million kwacha for construction of a health center, a staff house, and water reticulation system in Malala area of Lukona ward of Kalabo district. Kalabo Town Council Secretary Kamwata Pongo has told Zanis in an interview that the money has been drawn from the 2023 Constituency Development Fund CDF. More details by Tine Mbewe.
Works of the construction of a health post, staff house, and a water reticulation system are underway in Malala community of Lukona ward in Kalabo district in Western Province, all totaled at a cost of 1 million kwacha. Speaking during the inspection of the works, Kalabo Town Council Secretary Kamwata Pongo told Zanis that funds have been drawn from the 2023 Constituency Development Funds, CDF.
The total cost of this project that comprises the health post, the staff house, and the water reticulation is 1 million kwacha, 1 million kwacha. And the funding is from the 2023 allocation of CDF.
Nakubiana Mujojo said once completed, people of Malala and the surrounding areas will no longer have to walk long distances to access healthcare services. We are walking long distances in order to go to the clinics to access medicines and also take women for antenatal services, and coming of the health post will help us shorten that distance because we are going to access the service within our area. Some of the community members spoken to expressed gratitude that Mode Enterprise, the construction company engaged to do the works, were employing men and women in the area. This project has brought us joy because we are able to work every day and earn money to buy food for our families and also to save for other things. And Mode Enterprise site manager Kabinda Malitwai said with the available manpower in the area, the company is sure of completing and handing over the project as scheduled.
Anisa, in 3 months' time, kona kupeza msevezo wa alunao. Kakuni inanischaba sisingata selu itusaka sona.
Tinembeo for Zanis News, Kalabo District, Western Province.
In business news, the Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry, MCTI, has urged clearing agents in Nakonde district of Mchinga province to acquaint themselves with the newly introduced electronic system for clearing goods and services. Project Officer under Zambia Border Post Upgrade Projects Wilson Mazemba made the call during a 3-day workshop aimed at sensitizing clearing agents on the new electronic system. Mr. Mazemba says the new electronic system is part of the efforts that government is making to ensure ease of clearing of goods and services at border posts. Details in the following report by Titani Zulu.
The Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry, in collaboration with Zambia Revenue Authority, ZRA, has conducted a 3-day sensitization program for clearing agents in Nakonde. The training is aimed at introducing the agents to a new electronic system that is set to revolutionize the way goods and services are cleared, hence the call to clearing agents to familiarize themselves with the new technology.
You know very well that you need the certificate of origin, and you have been doing this manually, but we are going a step further to introduce the electronic systems. So the ministry, ZRA, the Ministry of Finance are very happy to introduce this system to make things easier for our trading public in Zambia. We hope you will take this system seriously.
ZRA, in collaboration with the Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry, developed the rules of origin. When this system was developed, it allowed producers, manufacturers to register online and apply for preferential treatment, and also to apply online for a certificate of origin. We recognize the role that agents as yourselves play in trade facilitation, and that is why we have come to do the trade management sensitization.
With the introduction of the electronic certificate of origin, the Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry is committed to modernizing and improving the clearance process for goods and services in Nakonde District. Titane Zulu for Zanis in Nakonde District.
In Luapula Province, Senior Public Health Inspector at Mwansawombwe Town Council, Geoffrey Walia, has appealed to the business community in the district to keep their trading areas clean. Mr. Walia was speaking after the installation of waste bins at bus stations, markets and other public places. Lewis Changwe now reports.
Proper waste management is key in maintaining the environment clean and preventing certain diseases. The local authority in Mwansawombwe district has since heightened its measures aimed at improving waste management in public places. Senior Health Inspector Geoffrey Waria now explains what the local authority has done to improve waste management.
Installing self-tipping bins in our communities, bus stations, in the markets. We have a number of them, totaling 20, that we are distributing throughout the district. The aim of our placement of the bins is to improve on waste management. We want to appeal to the people of Umbeleshi and Salanga, Mununshi, Kazembe to take these bins with care, as well as to throw the rubbish in the bins.
The move has delighted members of the public.
I'm just happy to bring these things, but we are just mainly with a shelter. There is no shelter for customers. So I'm just working in the station. So we need a shelter to make sure that the customers going somewhere to stay. Napo.
Kwena turetora Mwansawombwe pali chivareta pano chakuposa mwefisoso. Lero mbako vakanso va Mwansawombwe vatukuriye kwa toilet pano pa junction. Shelter umwa kuikara makastomers ayakuyo kumansa kumazara chula.
So tulefua yakona vimbi fikonka nyepo market tatoa kwata ma toilets pano tatoa kwata.
Lewis Changwe, Zanis, Mwansawombwe, Luapula Province.
We continue with the news. The Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the Fistula Foundation, successfully conducted 44 surgical operations for women who suffered from obstetric fistula in northwestern province from June this year. Among them is a 32-year-old Charity Mufwaya, who has lived with the condition for 7 years and appreciated the government for improving maternal health services in rural areas. This came to light during a tour of selected health facilities in Kalumbila district by members of the Presidential Delivery Unit, PDU. Details in this report.
Obstetric fistula is caused by childbirth injury that results in the inability to control urination, leading to various social consequences for affected women, such as divorce and loss of social support. Provincial Health Director has this to say.
So far in Northwestern Province, Madam Chair, we've had 2 camps, as I said, and we have operated on 44 patients or mothers. In November, we operated on about 22 patients, and Solwezi General Hospital have about 5, and the outcome has been good. Here in Kalumbila, as we are talking now, we have got 1 which you'll be able to interact with. You want her to give the testimony, the good story of the health services that the government is providing, and people should be able to know that within the midst of the governance, a number of health issues, good health issues are happening, and it's through Fistula Foundation. Very soon we'll be getting hold of her. She's going to give her testimony.
Charity Mufwaya has a success story.
So pano problem yonse yakwa na igala nayo 7 years.
Ministry of Health Presidential Delivery Unit PDU focal point person is happy with the development.
No woman should die giving life. So we are so grateful that Northwestern Province is already doing a lot of activities to ensure that the mothers go to deliver in the health facilities. The mothers go to antenatal care at the right time.
Reporting for Zanis News, I am Chebunkoma in Karumbira District, Northwestern Province.
We take a break. Join us for more stories when we return. Stay tuned.
For news and current affairs, entertainment, sports, children's programs, and a host of other events in and beyond our borders, Zanis TV has you covered. On Channel 6 and Channel 458 on Topstar.
Welcome back. First Lady Mutenta Hijilema, with support from Investtrust Bank, has donated goods worth 100,000 kwacha to Fountain Gate Children's Home in Chongwe District in Lusaka Province. Mrs. Hijilema has since called on Zambians to embrace the spirit of sharing with the less privileged in society during the festive season. She said this in a speech read for her by the Minister of Health, Sylvia Masebo. More in the following report.
First Lady Mutenta Hijilema, with support from Investtrust Bank, has donated assorted foodstuffs to Fountain Gates Children's Home of Chongwe District. The Children's Home received a donation worth 100,000 kwacha to support the less privileged children at the institution. First Lady Mutenta Hijilema was represented at the donation by Health Minister Sylvia Masebo.
Christmas period has always been a time of love, compassion, and sharing what we have with one another. It is a better way to show love and share our common values by coming together and make a difference in the lives of those that are less fortunate among ourselves. Today, we are in the presence of the beautiful young souls that have faced challenges that many of us can only imagine. Yet here they are, hopeful and full of potential. They are a testament of the strength of the human spirit and the power of love and support. It is our duty as a society to nurture their dreams, provide them with opportunities, and ensure that they too can look forward to a future filled with promise.
Investtrust Bank highlighted the bank's drive to partner with the First Lady in her community engagements.
Taking care of the less privileged, the underprivileged, the marginalized, the persecuted, as we heard from some of the Bible verses, is a divine duty. It's a sacred responsibility and it's a privilege. And therefore we are excited as a bank to come here and partner with the First Lady's office, the area member of parliament, and some of the leaders that are here. I think for us, really, and we're looking forward to hearing the testimonies, but I think the message to the children, even as we bring these tidings, is the fact that it doesn't matter how you start, but it's how you live your life and how you finish. And therefore, as a bank, we want to make sure that we participate in bringing hope to the children that are here, and especially to also those that are taking care of them.
Fountain Gate Children's Home owner expressed gratitude for the donation from the First Lady.
And we are very excited that we see all these gifts here. They remind us, that our Heavenly Father has given us a gift. That's why we celebrate Christmas. And that is the greatest gift one could ever receive, that is His Son, Jesus Christ. Fountain Gate Children's Home was built by the Christian Ministries out of concern for many children who had lost their parents during the height of the HIV/AIDS pandemic. My wife, as I said, and I were confronted firsthand with the many needs of those children as part of our work at our Christian Ministry health facilities treating HIV/AIDS clients.
For Zanis in Chongwe District, I'm Sande Waria.
In sports news, sports stakeholders in Luapula province have made submissions to the Ministry of Youth, Sport and Arts for inclusion in the revised national sports policy. Speaking during a stakeholders meeting, Assistant Director for Sports Wesley Chikwamu notes that as an important instrument, the policy is expected to uplift the standards of sports development in Zambia. Geoffrey Chikumbi now reports.
In order to make sport a big contributor to social, economic and political development of the country, government is in the process of revising the national sports policy. In Luapula province, a delegation from the Ministry of Youth, Sport and Arts has received submissions from sports stakeholders. The submissions are expected to address the enhancement of the level of participation and competition, thereby improving the standards of sport in the country. Wesley Chikwamu, who is Assistant Director for Sport at the Ministry, is leading the delegation.
We want a policy that will stand the test of time, that will be inclusive. When I say inclusive, we want to include even the people from different sporting activities. For example, there are some sporting federations that were not considered. I can give you an example of a draft. I can give you chess, wheel basket, all those we are trying to bring them on board. The people of Luapula should take this document to be very serious because their submission will be taken into consideration and their input will put a mark on that policy. And the people of Luapula should feel that this policy, they are owning it.
Participants have been drawn from various sports disciplines across the province.
Much of what has been discussed is in line with our ambition and our goal of making sure that talent, the untapped talent, is identified, given the chance to flourish, and at the end of the day excel at the biggest stage that it can ever be. So this policy, we hope that whatever has been the consultative meeting we have had today, we hope that it will, those discussions that were raised during the meeting are going to be put into the good use.
For communities that have different types of sports activities in their respective communities, the word to them is that the doors are open for them, especially that now we'll be working hand in hand with the Department of Sports Development, which has been developed to the council. They can either go to the Department of Sports Development or come to the council, specifically the Department of Housing and Social Services, which is in charge of sports in the district.
Government believes that the revised national sports policy document will address a number of factors such as inadequate sports facilities, limited support from the corporate world, among others. For Zanis TV, Godfrey Chikumbi reporting in Mansa.
And finally in the news, Chipata City Mayor George Mwanza has launched a Christmas football tournament aimed at empowering the girl child. The mayor is hopeful that the Entrepreneurs Financial Center sponsored tournament will help reduce the ever-escalating numbers of teenage pregnancies and sexually transmitted infections in Chipata constituency. And Football Association of Zambia Provincial Chairperson Crispin Kamuna has called on the business community in the province to come on board and support the growth of football in the province. More in the following report.
Randy, go! Zikomo!
Some say house chores, proliferation of STIs, and other sexually transmitted diseases has a face, and it is that of a woman or a girl child. Contrary to the construct, Chipata City Mayor George Mwanza has flagged off a more than 30,000 kwacha Christmas football tournament aimed at promoting the empowerment of a girl child.
But we are thankful that EFC came through, Stand Big and Be Forward, and many others. We want to continue doing this. So as we start tournament, we want to wish you all the best. There will be big prizes that each team will win, from number 1 to 4 on the boys, number 1 to 4 on the girls. And the girls, really, you are the center of this tournament. You are the reason why this tournament started, so that we can really fight teenage pregnancies. We can fight all these things that limit the potential of a girl child. And the boys said, well, Mayor, you can't leave us behind, because for us to resolve society problems, we must approach it holistically. That's That's why we have boys teams and girls teams, so that we can address issues of abusing drugs or anything that is not of any benefit. So happy Christmas and prosperous New Year. May the best teams win the George Mwanza December 2023 Mayor's Tournament. Cheers, Zigomo.
The Football Association of Zambia, FAS, in the province, appreciates the innovation.
And I wish to take this platform, Your Worship, to invite the listed companies even more to come and partner with us and do what we've always wanted to do, the FAS Provincial Cup. This is a cup which we already played the 50,000 as Exco, and we want to see how many of us can join hand with us so that we make it bigger. The ultimate goal still remains what the mayor is doing today, to improve the lives of the young.
And the main sponsors of the tournament, Entrepreneurs Financial Center, EFC, was represented.
We are very proud to be here as EFC. Remember, we don't just want to give that financial support, we also want to pay back to the communities where we are operating. So we thought of partnering with our able mayor here, Mayor George Mwanza, to just support him in this noble cause.
Davison Sakala, Zanis, Chipata District, Eastern Province.
As we end the news, let's take a look at the stories that made headline. President Hichilema confers with EU Parliamentary Committee. 13 constituencies in Northern Province successfully implement CDF. Clearing agents advised to acquaint themselves with the new electronic clearing system. And Chipata Mayor launches Christmas football tournament for girls. It's on that note we end Zanis News. On behalf of the entire Zanis production team, I'm Alice Banda saying goodbye and Merry Christmas.